I personally have experienced all of that, whatever that Veronica is bringing forth today. What I found to be really, really, really transformative for me is also something that I teach my clients now. I just found that all of the things that you said, writing it all down and all of that, just went to a very intellectual place for me. And I used to think, oh, I get it all right now when I'm in a meditative space. But then when I go out there, again, it's happening again. Why is that? And so I actually found what really, really was so life changing is to actually to really feel what is going on in my body. Because and that is the embodiment practices that I truly, truly like just devote myself to every single day. I get into my body. I ask myself, and I have gone through that, by the way, even when I was quote unquote spiritual, oh my God, this is triggering me. This is triggering me. Oh my God, like, why are they coming up for me? And I love what Lisa and Karen had said. It is coming up for us to really reflect upon something that's going on in me that wants me to see. To take that one step further, I think what happens when we work with the energy within us, to work with the energy field that forms us, our physical body, and our thoughts, by the way, it happens so much quicker because now I can feel it and then I can transmute that energy through my breath, through my feelings. I'm not hiding from them. I'm not suppressing them. I'm like, okay, I'm triggered. I'm offended because I have this judgment for myself in this area. And I'm going to breathe into it. I'm going to love into it. And that's it. And I think I would really, really honor Veronica for stepping up and sharing this, because it is huge to be able to feel this and see this. So the next step I would say is definitely feel into it. Where in the body are you feeling it? And yeah, that's my take on it.
I also, to your point, love that, by the way, feelings, amazing. But also you made me think of something also, Veronica, also kudos, but where are you putting your focus and attention? Because what you're focusing on is things that you're getting. So it may be that you're meeting, where are you putting your focus and attention? I'll just leave it at that question. And then Liz, I know you had something to say.
Every once in a while, I get to a point in these impact panels when I have just vomited all over my notebook and I'm shaking because there's something that I want to share. So, Veronica, thank you for your question, and Karen, thanks for holding space for it. Echoing what has already been said, yeah, absolutely. When you're going through this, try to identify where in your body you're feeling it, because that can be an indicator that can help you identify what exactly is going on. And then if it's a situation, all of the situations are neutral that we're in. What are you making it mean is the best, in my experience, one of the best questions that you can ask. And usually if there's something that you're getting offended by, it's because you're making it mean something about you. And I want to recognize that this is a very deep feminine wounding that is shared. If you continue to journal on this, as has been suggested, if you keep on asking, oh, that's an interesting thought, what else? And keep going down that rabbit hole, invariably, we finally get to the answer of, well, then I won't be accepted, and then I'll be exiled, and I will starve, and I will die. So at its root, it's fear. It's fear of not being accepted. So if you can kind of find where your thought pattern is bridging the I'm offended by this situation or this statement, and where your brain thinks that you're going to be exiled by the clan, exiled by the tribe, then you can begin to interrupt it and change what's going on in your brain. So that's what I wanted to contribute. I was like, thank you.
Go ahead, Sabrina.
Before we wrap up here, I want to tell on myself really fast, if that's okay with everybody. So I actually dealt with this minutes before the panel, And I'm not going to highlight anybody unless they want to highlight themselves. But this is me telling on myself. So when I have 9 people on stage, as we do today, that means 18 people signed up. I always have 50% show. So if there's 8 people, 16 people. If there is 12 people, 24 people originally. So those are all the people that I am contacting back and forth, 24 people. It's a lot. Okay. So I make mistakes. All the time in how people's names are put, their websites, their pictures, all the time. So I wake up in the morning with 3 emails of, some of you are smiling, of didn't put your picture up, didn't put the right picture up, didn't spell this, didn't spell that. And in my head, I'm like, dude, like, don't you know what it takes to do this? Like, why are you coming at me so aggressively with the mistakes I've made? And I had to like sit in the thought process of, how else are they supposed to tell me that there's a mistake unless they tell me that there's a mistake? Why am I feeling like they're yelling at me when they're possibly just saying like, hey, Sabrina, just so you know, if you want to change, like, why am I reading it with so much aggression when it might not even be aggression? It might just be them reiterating like, hey, I did all the things that you asked me to do. I sent the email like you told me to send the email. I am right. Like, I tried my best. I did good. I'm a good girl. I'm organized. And that could be them just being like, hey, I did all the things that you asked me to do because I'm good. And I'm just like, meh. So I really had to check myself this morning with how I was taking that in and show up with love and show up with like, hey, made the change, no problem, with like no emotion attached, no ego attached, no identity, and just fix the things that needed to be fixed and just get on with my day and show up in love. So it happens even on these days.
I just want to, I know we have to wrap up, but I just want to hold space for you, Sabrina, for even showing up and saying all of that. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.